Hello guy, today we're not playing Rival, but rank them in a tier list. But hey, so before we start, I just need to tell you that this is my opinion, so don't come and attack me. So we just get this over with their 14 guns, so let's make this quick. Let me get this quick. Wait, they're none, so I guess I have to make my own. So I finally got this tier list, so let's get started. So, assault rifle, there's a lot of stuff I have to say about this gun. It's bad good. So I think it deserves a tier just because it's a little basic, like it's just a default loadout. However, it's not a bad weapon to use and I definitely recommend using it. Anyway, the next gun we have is Sniper, and it goes on F tier. Listen, Sniper, it go on F tier every time I play with someone who uses it. They always use auto shoot and kill me, which can be very annoying and unfair. However, I will give it the benefit. That's it, actually pretty good, so it gets B tier. Now on to shotgun. Shotgun, B tier, it's a pretty good weapon to use. However, the thing is you kinda have to get a bit close to damage them more also, because it's not that good. However, it's not bad weapon, I just seen better. Anyway, Paintball Gun S tier, despite it being paid to win, it's actually a pretty good weapon and it's pretty unique weapon. Anyway, bow, C tier. Okay, so the bow is a steal, it only has 15 key to buy it and moves speed 5%. It also even has a projectile to give him more damage and can even make you double jump. The reason why, however, I put in C is because there were better weapons. No, moving on to the next weapon is Crossbow, C tier. This is better than the regular bow, but not by much, because while it has long range, it costs more and the cooldown is more longer and even the ammo is shorter. However, it's still pretty decent weapon. It's just not the best. So I'll just give it a respect C tier just because it's not the most bad weapon I ever used. RPG, F tier. Speaking of the devil, the most bad weapon I ever used was the rocket launcher. While it does 50 damage, which is a lot, it takes so long to reload, which can mess you up. Sometimes it even removes 15% of your move speed, so I definitely wouldn't recommend using this weapon. Gunblade, now this is going to shock you, but I think the gunblade deserves B tier. Now listen, I know a lot of people don't really like this, but to be honest, I disagree in my opinion, because people just don't know how to use the weapon, and it does 45 damage, which is pretty good, and the blade does 35, which is also pretty good. However, I will be respectable and only give it a B tier just because it's not the best, but definitely not the worst weapon. Anyways, so just don't use this weapon. It gets D tier. Grenade launcher, D tier. This weapon is just as bad as the rocket launcher in every way. It's literally is paid to win, which I mean, well, you could technically buy with 425 kit, but that's not the point. Plus the cooldown is so long and the cooldown is also longer. It has more ammo than the rocket launcher, but it's still pretty bad, not to mention the cherry on top, minus 10% of speed. So overall, which is honestly pretty underrated, but whatever. Better, however, it does do 40 damage, which is also pretty good, so I guess makes it a bit better than the rocket launcher, but not by much. Now anyways, we have the energy pistol, F tier. Not only is this paid to win, but it also does only 20 damage, which to be honestly not bad, but it literally has unlimited ammo, which can make it unfair on a match, so just for that it gets an F here. But is also a pretty good gun. It does 20 damage, which is not bad, but also minus 10% speed and 120 seconds to reload, but it has reload 120s, so I wouldn't put it higher just because of the flaws, but I definitely would recommend this weapon. Flamethrower, F tier. It also pay to win and remove minus 5% of your speed, which is honestly not bad, but the range is short, so you have to get very close in order to kill them, which is pretty fine if you're playing in teams, like for example to V2. However, if you die in 1v1, then you're basically cooked, so unless you're playing in teams, then I wouldn't recommend using this in solo. Anyways, time for next weapon, which first we're sadly going to go to Minigun first. Cannot describe how bad you are, so you deserve F tier, because not only are you paid to win, but you have to stay very still in order to kill them, which makes you slow and remove minus 25 move speed when you're holding it. But the thing that makes me mad the most is that it does low damage, only doing 4 to 8, which is very low. Anyways, we only have to left, which is good, so I'm going to speed up. Anyways, the second weapon we have is Spencer. Now anyways, Scepter C tier. Now this is an exclusive weapon only in some mode, however. That doesn't mean that I'll be giving it extra points or whatever, but it's honestly not a bad weapon. It does 25 damage, which is decent, and it also has a magical... I'm just going to put it in C tier just because it doesn't do that much damage and is not that good, but it's not the worst weapon I used. Hold on for a moment. I'm just going to be fixing the tier list. But anyways, let's get to our final weapons burst rifle. For our final one. B tier, this is a pretty underrated gun, but is also a pretty good gun. It does 20 damage, which is not bad, but also minus 10% speed and 120 seconds to reload, but it has reload. 1.2 seconds, so I wouldn't put it higher just because of the flaws, but I definitely would recommend this weapon. So overall, we have this tier 1 weapon, Paintball Gun, a tier 1 weapon, Assault Rifle, B tier 4 weapons, Sniper, Shotgun, Gunblade, Burst Rifle, C tier 3 weapons, Bow, Crossbow, Scepter, D tier 1 weapon, Grenade Launcher, F tier 4 weapons, RPG, Energy Pistol, Flamethrower, Minigun. So what do you think? Do you agree with my opinion? Or do you disagree and you hate me? And thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments. Comment what your favorite gun is in Rivals, and let me know if we should do this again. Also be sure to smash the subscribe button, like and comment.